And it's amazing how people who have never done anything in life always have the advice for you to do everything, right? Have you ever experienced that? So my kid, who is in high school, going into ninth grade, we're talking to him about study, and he says, "Yeah, Dad, I know how college students study," because I'm explaining to him, listen, in order to be able to study, you need to do certain things like the rest of the college students, and he goes, "Dad, I know how college students study." "Yeah, really? You want to tell me? You want to explain to me how the one who's never been to college, the one who's never been around college kids during a test, and you're going to tell me that how college kids studies when I've done over 10 years of college, have a master's degree, and gone through all the years? Really, you're going to tell me how to study?" My daughter looks at me this week and says, "You know, Dad, let me tell you how to drive." So my 11-year-old who does not have a license, who has never driven a car, is going to tell me all about driving. Tell me how dangerous of a driver I am. Tell me how to keep safe when she's never driven a car. And you know what? That's true. Many people will say, "Hey, Pastor Chris, probably," I'm telling you, I'm one of the best and safe drivers, okay? If you know me. People always say, "Well, that's not true. You've had lots of accidents or whatever." Get in the car with my wife, and then you'll pray to God. That's what I'm saying. It's one of the reasons on one of the cars where we put the Source bumper sticker, the other one we don't, because get in the car with her, and you'll start praying for God to save you, right? She rides right on those people's bumpers, and I know some of you guys are like drivers like that. But my 11-year-old's going to sit here and tell me how it is to drive when she's never driven a car. People always have the advice for you who have never done anything. I mean, have you ever had someone tell you? I had someone tell me recently that, that these people now that we have these children, these people keep giving us advice on these kids. I had one person tell me that your daughter should be potty trained when she was a year old. And I kept telling my wife, because sometimes I got to calm her down when people say things, I'm like, "Hey, calm down. Don't worry. They don't have any kids. They don't understand. They just don't get it." You know what it's like when people start giving you advice who've never gone through anything. They just don't get it. Don't worry. And it's funny now because they had this thought process that when my kid was 1, they were going to be potty trained. Just wait, because when they have kids, that's God's payback. And so when they start having kids, me and her laugh now because we're like, "Well, let's see, their kid's 3. Are they potty trained?" No, I thought at 1 year old they were going to be potty trained. I mean, people always have advice for somebody. That's what I want you to see with the disciples is the 11 disciples decided to stay in the boat. The 11 disciples sat in false security. The 11 disciples sat here going, "You know what? I got my finances in order. I got good health. Things are going good. You step out for God. We'll see if it works for you. If it works for you, maybe I'll follow later on. But I'm good right here in my boat. This is my nice security net. Everything's going. I'm staying afloat. This is where I want to be." And it's Peter who actually had the faith to step out on the boat and began to walk to Jesus. It's Peter, the one that had the experience. The reason we're able to read this story today and benefit from it is because Peter had the faith to step out of the boat. So I'm asking you this morning, what faith is God calling you to? What are you doing in your life that's going to require some faith for you to step out on the boat? What mission is God calling you to that seems like it's bigger and you've never done it before? Because before that, Peter had never walked on water. Before that, no man had walked on water. For him to step out and have the faith that he's going to be able to walk on water to Jesus, what element in your life is maybe God calling you to that's going to take more faith than you can imagine?